Welcome to Proof It's Possible. Jamie and I are multifaceted entrepreneurs, the founders of the Ultimate Girls Trip, and the hosts of Proof It's Possible. Jamie and I are also sisters, best friends, and complete opposites, but somehow we always manage to stay on the same team. Join us every week to hear our thoughts on all things entrepreneurship, friendship, family, pop culture, and more. Hi, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Today we have a very, very special guest. This is Laurie Lomenda. She is a wellness coach. And so Laurie is my personal wellness coach. So that's why I wanted to bring her on. And I am currently doing one of her programs. So we'll chat about that later. But everything from fitness, nutrition. How many years have you been in this business?
Over 20. So we're
Oh,
over
wow.
2 decades now.
Yeah. Amazing.
So Laurie was my very first personal trainer. It was like a group fitness class, but we lived in the same community and she used to do them like in the park and it was amazing. And I was really fit back then. Really.
That was my first boot camp that I ever ran. And I just started another one now. And it's just like a full circle moment, especially now that I'm back like in connection with you all these years later. It was very exciting.
I know, crazy, right? I love it though.
Laurie, tell everybody how you got into this. Like, what's your story of why this was important to you and why you wanted to make this your business?
Yeah, so I got into personal training over 20 years ago, coming from being an elite athlete, and just kind of when that season of life ends, you kind of don't really know where to go. So I went to university, got my degree, and decided a quick certification for personal training was more of my style of where I wanted to be. So I got that, started working in a gym, and long story short, I left the industry after getting pregnant with my second son. So I have 4 boys. I had them all under 5. So I have a set of twins. So 4 boys under 5. And kind of just lost myself to motherhood and marriage. And, I had twins. Life became all about feeding and sleeping and burning the other 2 out. So life became all about cooking meals and staying busy. And in the meantime, kind of losing myself. So got back into it to help other women who feel the same way and develop what I wish I had at that time. And just to bring connection back to women. I think we get stuck in this must do everything for everybody else and forget that we are actually the VIP of our own lives. And that's my mission now, is to allow people to be that person in their own lives.
I love that because I feel like that is a 100% like relatable to every mother on the planet. They have kids and then they're like, oh, you know what? I don't even know what I like to do anymore because I've just been doing for everybody else. So I think it's like an amazing demographic to be, like serving and supporting, because I think that that's kind of the lost and forgotten ones. They're always doing for others and not always doing for themselves. So, that's just the best.
Laurie, I know that you have also an even newer focus since you've returned, in that you are helping women over 40. And so what's the difference between under 40 and over 40 in your opinion?
The 20-year-old self.
Yeah.
Versus
Absolutely. So when I was 20, I was all about being skinny, being fit, showing up like physically, being the part. Now my focus is definitely aging strong and well and helping, our 40-year-old selves realize that it's not about being in the size 6 or the size 8 or whatever size or whatever number is on the scale. It's about aging well and aging without pain. I have one client who just came off all of her pain meds that she was taking multiple times a day. I've been working with her for 2 months and she just went on a trip and didn't even pack any pain meds. So that's the goal.
Wow.
The goal is to reduce pain, feel strong, and just confident and just at home in your body. And I'm super passionate.
And so what's different? Like, what do we have to do differently in our 40s and our 50s and our 60s that we didn't have to do in our 20s and
Sure,
30s.
yeah. So we're, hitting the perimenopause stage. So focusing on our nutrition and increasing our protein because as we age, our muscle mass is actually decreasing daily. So if you're not doing the work, if you're not lifting the weights, eating the protein, eating the macronutrients that you should be eating to sustain your muscle, you're just going to continue to degenerate daily, which is kind of, that word
I,
is scary.
Yeah.
maybe this is just me, but I'm feeling a little like you're calling me out here.
Well,
I
sometimes you need that tough love, hey? And that's my approach. I love the no BS approach. I'm not gonna try and, convince you to do a fad diet. I'm not gonna try and convince you to do a crazy hula hoop workout. I mean, if that works for you, have at her, but that's not my approach.
yeah.
So yeah, I think when
What I've noticed, what I've noticed as with my own body at 40 is that I have like my muscle mass is just gone. I'm just like weak all of a sudden. I was quite strong for my size back in the day. And then all of a sudden I'm just like weak. I can't do everyday tasks. And I'm like, what happened? What happened to me? But I also haven't worked out since your boot camp when I was in my 20s.
yeah,
So,
we don't realize how quickly we can lose it either. So, in our 20s and 30s, it's like we're always kind of moving, we're always kind of up to something. And as we progress and we start giving our time and attention to other people, when we start putting ourselves on the back burner and, our bodies are like getting tired, getting weaker, our muscle mass is decreasing, and all of a sudden we're carrying laundry up the stairs and have to take a break at the top because we're out of breath and our muscles are exhausted. So to get back to what we need to change when we're 40 plus is just there's a huge mindset shift in our demographic right now is because we've always been doing the fad diets. We've always been quick fixes, like fat burners and juice cleanses, low carb diet. Yeah, exactly. And like carbs are not the enemy. Carbs are actually our friends when we
But are we sure?
we are sure.
I'm brainwashed, guys. I'm brainwashed.
I'm still convincing you. But in at certain times of the day, so if we consider when we're working out and when we're eating those carbs and when we're replenishing our bodies, that it's huge. It's massive in this age that we're in and how our bodies are changing.
So how would you tell someone like me who's like out of the working out world? Like I'm not actively in it. I'm not someone who's, just taken a small hiatus from the gym. I've taken like a deep 20-year hiatus. And I've never been a gym goer. Never in my life have I owned a gym membership. I've been like an outdoor boot camp kind of gal.
Yeah.
But it's been a lot of years. How would you suggest someone like me ease into it? Like, because the reality is I'm not going to buy a gym pass. I haven't up until this point. I'm not going to probably do it. It's intimidating to be like, yeah, I'll just join a boot camp with a bunch of 20-year-olds who are super fit because I know that I'm not as strong as I used to. So what can someone like me do to just start the process of rebuilding those muscles?
Absolutely. So simple things to get started. So I know from chatting with you before, like you do your I am statements in the morning. So why not throw in 10 squats while you're doing those I am statements? Right? Like just like little things, right?
Right.
Or like if your kids are running by and they're full of energy, just be like, hey, let's do 10 push-ups together or whatever it is, just bringing it into your regular life so it doesn't feel like a chore because you have enough chores. You don't need another one. Right? And then through my app, so I do an online subscription through my app, and most of my clients are working out at home. So what I suggest to them is we start with what we have. No need to buy any new equipment. I do want you to start adding weight. So I really do focus my programs on progressive overload, but we start with what we have. So whether that's the 3-pound weights you had from when you were toning in your 30s, or if it's, a article, like a something that has weight to it, a soup can, a book, whatever it is, and just start lifting it. Because the reality is, as we age, getting up off the couch gets harder if we don't have any muscle mass. Or picking up our water cup gets harder if we don't have any muscle mass. So it's just maintaining what we have and increasing that muscle mass to make life easier.
For
Hey,
sure. And like for me, I also appreciate anything that can be done in my schedule. So like I'm the kind of person that like I don't work out when other people think they should work out. I work out at the end of the day. But that's when I have time. That's when I know I won't need that energy for something else because I have to like manage my physical energy every day. So that's what I've loved about your program. Like I did your macros. So that's something that Laurie offers where basically we had a quick phone call and then you gave me like how many calories I should eat, what those calories need to look like, all the details I needed to start eating healthier. And the biggest thing that all that was like fantastic, and I'm following all of it. But what you called me out on the very first call was you're like, I think your mindset's wrong on all of this because I was like,
we're still doing the Atkins program.
yeah.
Where do you?
It wasn't even that.
No, I'm
It
just
was
kidding.
that I was talking bad to myself. Like, I'm like, I'm never going to lose the weight from having surgery and not being able to work out for such a long time. And I was like beating myself up. And she like heard that in the very first 20-minute call.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh gosh, it's that bad.
I remember
like,
that so
busted me.
clearly. And I think
Yeah.
that's something I don't even focus on when I talk about this, my style of training, because that comes so naturally to me. I hear it
Mhm.
immediately and I call people out. I really focus on a self-love approach. Like we're not here to beat ourselves up anymore. We've done that for the majority of our lives. I've done that. I've struggled with an eating disorder for many, many years in my life. And that negative self-talk just perpetuates. And then it's like, oh, I can never lose this weight. Oh, I can never lift that weight. Oh, I can never. And it's like your book, like the statements that,
Yeah, but
yeah, buts. It's like, I should do that. Yeah, but I can't, or whatever it is. We have to start with our positives. Like every day when I wake up, before my feet hit the ground, I'm thankful for three things. And it's always my able body and two more things. So we have to give ourselves the self-love and the love that we give each other. Because I would never tell either of you're never going to lose that weight. You're never going to get stronger. And so therefore I will not also say that to myself, because I have to be the VIP of my own life. I have to be the most important person so I can give that to other people as well.
Yeah. Something I'll say about you is that amazes me all the time. And when you guys start following Laurie on Instagram, you'll see. But
let's throw in what her handle is.
Yeah, we can do that now.
Oh,
what's your handle?
lb.lomenda on Instagram.
Awesome. But basically, Laurie is the definition of how you do something is how you do everything. And you literally practice what you preach. Like you get up before your clients, before your kids, before everybody, you get your workout in. You make beautiful meals for your kids. And like one of the fun things you and I were talking about recently is doing some online programs that are dedicated, like they're just more like a guidebook or like a recipe book. And like what are you working on in that world right now?
Yeah, so I'm working on, I sent out an email for like the end of the year lunches for kids, because all moms that are listening to this are going to be like, yeah, I just threw in like a box of KD in their lunch container today. Like, good luck cooking it. I hope you can find a pot.
We've all given up.
Right? We're just like, okay, we're done. But now I'm working on a summer survival guide. So our kids are home and all of a sudden their appetites are through the roof and the kitchen is just a revolving door, which is great.
Okay, can we just stop for a second? How do I get on the mailing list? Because I never got this last.
You need to be
on the mailing
list. Yeah, jump on my website. So
what's your website?
lblomenda.com. And you can subscribe there and you will definitely get all of my emails that come out. And the next one that's coming out is your summer survival guide. So I am an activity driven mom. So every day it's like, what activity are we getting up to? What lake are we finding? Where are we going? And so just like having things ready in the fridge to pack and throw in the picnic basket is my survival guide. So even if we don't leave the house, it's still in the fridge. The kids can grab it. They know that, there's picnic stuff ready if it's in the backyard eating, or if we're at the lake or river or wherever we're at, there's picnic
This,
style food.
this is so incredibly smart because I'm telling you, my kids all play baseball, and I am at the baseball diamond, which is quite far from our house, every single weekday until the end of the year. And most weekends too, because they have tournaments up until the end of the school year. And so our dinners are picnic style. And I'm like fresh out of ideas. Like they're like, no more cucumber, no more pepperoni, crackers and cheese,
Right?
no more. Like we're sick of everything you've got. So like, oh man, do I ever need some fresh ideas? This is brilliant. And I'm obsessed.
One, I feel like that's moms. After like week 2 of summer, they're like, I'm not making any more meals for these kids. All they do is eat.
Yeah.
All they do is snack. All they do is need me for something. And if the food is like grab and go, and they know what's in the fridge, and they know that it's available to them just as much as it's available to the mom, they can pick their own combination of grapes and cheese and pepperoni sticks.
Absolutely.
Or
and it
whatever
gives
they're
them
eating,
the authority to make their own choices, which is huge. If I'm not telling my kids what to eat, sometimes they eat healthier because it's ready,
Right.
and they've decided that they should eat that, not mom. They had that decision-making process. So it's helpful. I find my boys, they're in and out. There's neighbors, there's friends, there's tons of kids in my house. So if I just have it there, they're like, okay, grab, a Powerball that mom has made in the fridge and run out the door and off to the next activity. So yeah, that's currently one of the things that I'm working on.
Okay.
I love it.
So this brings me to my next like set of questions, because I want to do just some like rapid fires to end it off. And the very first question I actually have, and so you just say smash or pass and I'll move on, is meal prep. So like not picnic style, but like, do you prep for the week? Like, oh, we're going to have meatloaf every single day this week. Or like,
I definitely do meal prep, but it's different. I do buffet style meal prep. So I have like, say 3 different proteins cooked and ready to go, and I can make it into whatever I want. So like, chicken, ground beef, something else. And like different carbs, different veggies prepped and ready to go, but they're not made into a meal yet.
Okay, I love that. Burpees at every workout.
Pass.
5 a.m. club, like the 5 a.m. workout club.
Absolutely.
Oh, interesting.
Aren't you 4:45?
Yeah, I wake up at 4:30 and changed pre-workout out the door at the gym by 5-ish.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. That's commitment. Cold plunging.
Smash. Not every day, but I do love it.
Okay. Working out on an empty stomach.
That one's so controversial. I have to say it depends on the person. And yeah, I do it in the mornings, but it doesn't work for everybody.
Okay. Running for fun.
Yeah. I am not a runner.
I already know the answer to this, but I think people are curious. Training your spouse.
Oh.
No. Absolutely not. I would never. I'm not a person.
I've tried, and he tells me that he likes it, but it's just like, no.
Group or solo workouts?
I'm a solo girl, but to personally work out, I'm solo, but I love training groups.
And I'm a group workout only.
Yeah.
I would never do a solo workout. I
like to, I'm a headphones on, don't talk to me when I'm doing my own thing. But when I'm training, I love group training. It's fun. There's a lot of energy in it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, that's all I have. This has been so fun.
I love it.
Yeah, so fun. But I have one last question. So Laurie was one of our amazing Ultimate Girls Trip attendees, which was awesome. And I have a question for you. What was from our trip, or just in general, your proof it's possible moment?
I have so many. How do I pick just one? You know what? Proof is getting there, showing up. That was the hardest thing for me to realize that I deserved a spot in that room and to leave my family. That was huge.
Yep. It takes
Yeah,
so much like planning, dedication,
Mhm.
commitment, and like belief in yourself that it's all going to be okay when you leave your home. Like everyone will get to
All
their
part.
practice when they need to.
Yeah.
They'll be at school. They'll have lunch to eat. They'll do all the things that you usually do. It'll all work out, and that it's okay to like invest in yourself, and you do belong in that room, and you're worthy of chasing your dreams and all of those things. So we're
Absolutely.
so happy you came. It was
Yeah,
just
so
the
happy.
best.
It was
So
sure.
absolutely incredible. Thank you for providing that for all of us. And like the friendships that we made, just everything. I could go on and on and on. It was amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
we
loved
love
having you. It was so good.
Mhm. So good.
So much.
All right,
Okay,
Laurie. So you've already said where we can find you, but let's do it one more time. What's your website?
lblamenda.com.
Okay,
your
and
Instagram
your
handle.
Instagram.
lb.lamenda.
And if anybody is interested in starting that workout and they want to do your app or do some personal training sessions with you or some group training, they can go on your website. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I actually have a 7-day free trial for my app running right now. So if anybody wants
Amazing.
to check it out and see what the workouts look like and see what the app looks like, I would love to have them.
Oh, so fun.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you for being here. We really appreciate it.
Of
Yes,
course.
thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me.
Bye, guys.
Bye. We are so grateful you're here.
It would mean the world to us if you'll subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel and leave us a review.
If you want to hear more from us, go to proofitspossible.com to join our mailing list and find our social links so you don't miss a thing.
Thanks and chat next time.